Hello, everyone. What's going on? My name is Timpedia. Welcome back to TNT Podcast, episode 131. I knew the number.
131. Oh,
These numbers are getting too high. They need to stop.
We need to. It's time to stop.
It's time for podcast
it's
cancel.
time to have a seat.
I'm playing an Astrologian in Final Fantasy. Sorry.
Oh my
Hold
on.
god. So
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Little teaser.
So, podcast crew's all here. Obviously, no Aiden showing up late, but why don't we list everybody?
Wow.
Starting with.
And is
on
that
the
what
right,
I'm known as?
Happened last time.
Oh.
Starting
Yeah,
with
you're right.
on the right.
Starting with me on the right, me, Friedman, also known as Andrew, mostly known as Friedman.
And on the left,
I'm also on the right. Excuse me, just Tyler.
and across.
Hi, I'm Aiden.
He's
I
on
like
the
Final Fantasy.
left. Hell, he's on the left. Tim, get your shit straight.
No, it's
Yeah, we're on the internet, dude.
until we record in the same place for once, which we have supposed to have been tried at least once since I came back.
That's.
Oh shit, you guys want to do that next week? Or in 3 weeks, whenever? Anyway,
gonna
we'll
say-
also
Yeah,
get
I mean,
to that later.
like, yo, you're I mean, once you get settled in on your new spot, right?
Yeah, that's true. Once
Yeah.
we finally have a house, we'll actually maybe do it for once. But we have not a ton of news today, but we have some. We have some news, some classics. Overwatch has been quiet for a long time, but we do still have Magic news. And this is relevant for everybody
thank
because
God.
this is game dev.
Damn, I
news.
miss when
This is
Overwatch
game
was a
dev
pillar
news.
of the news section every week.
So, Magic Legends. Like 2 years
Oh,
ago,
this is
or a year ago, Wizards announced this Diablo clone. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Magic Legends. Top down, Magic the Gathering, whatever. Everyone knows how Diablo works. Freeman, what was it, 3 months ago, I want to say? Where they gave a bunch of content creators early access to build hype for this game.
it feels like way longer ago, but yeah, it was around then.
I'm hearing a lot of negativity, and I'm not sure that I like this.
So, well, Aiden,
So we'll walk you through.
strap in. Hold
When-
on. No. We're not done yet. There's still more to this news story.
Can I give him some background real quick as
Sure.
to what the disappointment was? So when they showed up the original screenshots of what it would look like, you could barely tell it was Magic. It was like loosely tied to it, so a lot of people were just like, all right, whatever. Like if you like the gameplay of Magic is really weird. There's only like if you like the deep lore and characters of Magic, which is also a questionable topic at best. But it just straight up did not look impressive. So the point was this beta was their chance to wow everyone.
And instead, everybody was like, "This is pretty whatever. This is not very good."
Damn.
So Wizards took that to heart,
They
and
took that, and I took that personally.
they took that to heart. And after a few months, they boldly came out and said, "October 31st, we're closing the servers. Game's canceled, boys."
We heard your feedback and we're listening. We've shut down game development.
Wow, dude.
Get wrecked,
I
nerd.
was like moderately looking forward to that, actually.
By the way, we're in the middle of / last year was Wizards' most profitable year ever. So
Oh, okay. Oh, guys, we only made like fucking $10 billion. We gotta fire 1,000 of you.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, this is just incredible. Like, they literally opened the beta, probably let people spend money immediately, and then they're like, people don't like this very much. Well, we're gonna cancel it.
Not enough.
Hey, look, and it's gone.
But we're $5 short of the quota. We can't
Oh,
just
these
keep
these
it going.
developers are really expensive.
I mean, at least they refunded everyone what they spent on the beta, though. You gotta at least commend them for not walking away with that money.
they can go fuck themselves.
Not for nothing. I bet you it's like not even more than 2% of what they spent to make the game that they actually had earned back in that beta.
Probably.
Like, let's be real. It's not like they like broke the bank and were like, we are willing to throw away millions of dollars on what people bought in this beta. It's like, dude, there's probably like 20 grand that people spent in that beta, and they gave it back, no problem.
Right.
Never doubt the power of whales. But the
I
thing is,
know.
with a lot of these betas, is
Sure.
the idea is when you spend during the beta, they just refund it as in-game credits when they actually launch.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if there was that promise of it, and the game was never gonna launch, I guess it kind of makes sense.
Oh no, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a beta that got canceled. I feel like it's any company that isn't a Kickstarter is guaranteed to give the money back at this point.
Yeah.
But funny enough, the Magic news doesn't stop there, but this is kind of good. This is kind of good, but it's still a weird way to do it. So remember 2 weeks ago we talked about how Wizards had brought it down to a quarter for Worlds in terms of what the original prize pool was supposed to be.
Yeah, the big old fuck you.
Yes.
Yep.
So Wizards announced today the 8 of the 16 people who will be attending Worlds, and they showed the prize breakdown, and they announced that everyone who shows up will get 50 grand as a showing up fee or for attending
Wow, what is
Worlds.
this
Wait, what?
participation badge shit?
So here's
Fuck
the thing,
no.
though. Here's the thing.
Hold on. This is important.
So here's the thing, though, Tyler. It's easy to say that, and I actually totally get that feeling. However, this does mean that across the board, they are actually giving out more than $1 million in prize pool, because 16 people at 50 grand is like 800 grand. And
Yeah, well, they only made like $1 trillion last year,
no,
so
Aiden, I'm not disagreeing, but I am saying at the end of the day, this is actually bigger prize pool than the original. Flip side of it, though, is the only person who doubles or more their money. Only the top, literally only the person who wins World earns more than 100K. Literally everyone else earns 90 to like 55K for going to Worlds.
That's still a decent.
Equalized prize.
Yes,
than anything
exactly.
else.
So it's a much more standardized prize for everyone. Whereas if there was $1 million, obviously at $1 million, you'd have some people with like, 10 grand as their thing for coming to Worlds. So honestly, I don't super hate it at a special event like Worlds, where it's supposed to be look at the best players in the world. They don't have to fight super hard or give up because they don't get their good prize. This is just about this. It kind of is almost more the prestige of winning Worlds. So it's still super shitty that Wizards did this even in the first place. But if you're going to turn it around like this does seem to actively be better for the players than having a giant prize pool where some people still get shit out of luck.
I
So, yeah.
guess. I don't know. I guess I don't really have any stake in this, so not like it matters to me. But
So, as a former professional Magic player, who's not a former professional Magic player, but at least follows the concerns of the community, one of the big things is that in order to like be a professional Magic player, like this is your job, it's all about prize earnings. So, to go to a tournament where there is a guaranteed prize floor, I think for people who are trying to make this their career, which I know Wizards really doesn't want anymore, this can be helpful. Like if you qualify for Worlds, you're making 50K this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice number to know before you even go to the tournament, and hopefully it de-incentivizes. I don't want to say it de-incentivizes cheating, but like hopefully it makes so there's not so much pressure to win at Worlds, even though everyone wants to win at Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't see it as purely positive. I don't think this is that bad of a change.
No, that's kind of where I'm at.
okay, so it's fine. It's fine, right? But like, I really can't stand these fucking multi-billion-dollar franchises being like, "Oh yeah, just come compete on the world stage for like literally a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percentage off of what we made for like our product."
I mean, I don't disagree, but
You don't understand. The shareholders would never get that.
But like clearly they don't even need to. Like,
I guess not, but I mean,
it's-
like, oh my God, they're competing for $100,000. Like, okay, all right, like, numbers drive people in a really weird way. Like, look at Cookie Clicker.
oh my god,
I know, and this is like a super archaic, like, bizarre argument to make.
Don't
But
boo
like,
him. He's right.
if you actually gave a shit about your product, do you think you would be able to like invest a little bit more into it? It just seems lazy, and it seems disingenuous to me
That's fair.
personally. And like I totally get it. Like I'm sure this is great for everybody involved, but like it could be better for everybody involved. And I don't believe in accepting the least common denominator.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah, fuck capitalism.
Yes, yo, we haven't tried true communism yet. I'm all for it. Let's
Oh my
Oh
go.
my
God.
god.
Anarku Marku.
But I digress. That's my take on it. Like, and Blizzard has done the same thing with the like, oh, we made fucking $8 billion this year. Like, we're firing our entire esports staff, and like all of our competitive shit is getting cut in half or more. Then it's like, okay, I guess. But like, if you don't want to be involved in that scene, then that's fine. But like, where the market seems to be consistently
Like,
moving in that
trending
direction,
towards
where like
that, yeah.
people want to watch people compete at a high level.
Yo, I mean,
in all
like,
sorts
it's
of
getting
things.
so mainstream. Fucking Buffalo Wild Wings is hosting this shit now, like.
Yeah.
And like people say, like, oh, like that's just ridiculous with Buffalo Wild Wings. Like, nah, man, like Buffalo Wild Wings is like some normie shit.
They're like, we saw advertising value in this. Like, that's the point.
Yeah.
A normal company's like, yes, this is a good ad spot for us.
Yeah. So that's, I don't know. That's my take on it. Like, I feel like a lot of companies are going to do themselves a disservice now by doing shit like this, rather than trying to foster the market that is like growing daily. Like, esports already is fucking huge compared to what it used to be. Like seeing events like Evo, where it's like, you go back to like early 2000s Evo, and it's like oh, okay, there's like fucking 100 people in this room, to some of the Evo stuff in the more recent years, it's like you could fucking fit 100,000 people in these stadiums. Like, to watch people play a fighting game.
Dude, fucking look at Korea.
And
Like
like, you
League of
think that's gonna?
Legends
Oh, dude,
championship?
Korea's been doing it
Holy
forever.
shit.
They like competitive Brood War in
dude.
Korea would draw tens of thousands of people, and has consistently for like over a decade now. Like, the scene is only growing bigger, and like being stingy this way is not going to help them.
1000%.
Well, yeah, sure. But they're doing it anyway.
We're doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, and I mean, like, nothing I say is going to change that. But like, when Magic isn't the new hotness anymore, and people picked up another card game, and like, it's weird to say that now, right? Because Magic has been so established for so long. But all it takes is one company to make the right move at the right time, and then Magic is on their ass because they weren't invested.
Oh, well, yeah.
But I
Hey,
digress.
what do we
Rant
know?
over. Thanks for coming to my tech talk.
I think the real problem here is was because like 75% of Hasbro's revenue last year. WotC had a freak year, and then the CEO promised 25% growth over that for next year. So he wants to recreate a freak accident plus another 25% every year.
Yes, sir.
The next year after is going to be 125% of the freak accident repeated plus 25%. So we're at a certain point they're going to have a bad year, and that's what I'm curious what happens, because that's all of Hasbro right now is just WotC and Magic.
Gotta love it.
Yep.
You hate to see
Maybe
it.
D&D, but
As the
See, but D&D doesn't earn money. Like, how does D&D make money?
D&D Beyond. That's about it.
D&D Beyond and all the coming out with modules.
Yeah, they've I feel like they've been pushing more. I'm not sure if that's an accurate
There's
statement.
there's a lot more, like I said, there's a lot more modules. There's like Matt Mercer fucking, I'm sure, did a lot of good stuff for them. Like, it's all the extra stuff too that they can like get off branding.
But it's not like they sell dice or anything.
They sell digital dice,
They sell
which is
digital-
insane.
Oh dear lord! How do you do the lamest version of a thing like selling dice?
This is the company that is selling card backs in MTG Arena for like $20.
Yeah, but you can see those.
You're implying I can't see my dice when I roll them
I
because they
don't
look
know.
pretty.
Anyway, that
So-
thankful. No, go ahead.
Sorry, that just real quick. Wizards probably doesn't make, or not Wizards, but like D&D probably doesn't make a huge amount of money, but I bet their profit margin is massive.
Oh, of course, because all you got to do is hire writers and a couple artists.
Yeah, like I'm sure that team's probably just like 3 dudes and maybe a
Yeah.
pug just
It's the
making
group that
millions
normally
of
writes
dollars.
flavor text for Magic, but this is what happens when they get to write full-length books.
Yeah.
I mean, well, and I mean, we're finishing spoiler season right now for the the first ever Magic the Gathering D&D set. So, people be getting hype about Forgotten Realms.
Cross media pollination.
I mean, if they put that money into expanding the franchise like that.
Well, we're also headed for Universes Beyond, where we're having crossovers with things like Lord of the Rings in the future or Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't wait to build a Gandalf deck.
Did you guys? Quick thing. Did you
Okay.
guys? See, we don't
A
play
gray
Dead by
Gandalf or a white
Daylight.
Gandalf?
We don't what?
We don't play Dead by Daylight, but did you see they came out with a Resident Evil pack?
That was a while
Dude,
ago.
it's great.
Was it?
Nemesis is such a good killer.
What the fuck? I was
They
like,
also
what is?
they already had Silent Hill.
Yeah,
What?
Silent Hill. Yeah, Pyramid has a Pyramid Head as a killer in the game.
I feel like
Oh,
this.
man.
game
I'm
has
adding
been
this to the
trying-
show notes. I've been playing DBD lately.
Go ahead, go
Oh,
right into it.
Right
Just-
now?
Yeah, screw it.
Oh,
We're literally
all
actively
right.
talking about it.
Dead by Daylight, baby. Actually, right now it is the 5th anniversary
Wow.
of Dead by Daylight.
Wow.
So if you want to get those blood points for your blood web, now's the time to do it. But man, it's such a good game of hide and seek. They just released the Resident Evil stuff, so you have Leon Kennedy and Claire Redfield, and you got Nemesis as a killer, and it's fucking great. Except the new map has been broken for like the last week, which is the Raccoon City Police Department.
Oh
Say
no.
broken, like how broken?
It would like crash people's games like immediately upon launch.
Buff.
Yeah, so but they apparently re-released it. I haven't been lucky enough to play on it yet, but I hear it's a very good map. It's very big. It's the Raccoon City Police Department, right? The Silent Hill School is in there, so like they have a history of this, and the game is way less broken than it was, and it's a good time if you want to play hide and seek with friends.
Well, that's good.
Luigi would love that.
Oh, Tyler, your mic is really quiet.
Yeah.
Did you get far
Yeah,
away
you're
from
very
anyone?
quiet.
How about now?
That's way
All right, it's
better.
back to normal.
I'm
There
like
you go.
eating it now, but all right, I mean, it works.
Fantastic.
No, it's fine. If that's what it is, then that's what it is.
Yeah, no, I noticed you getting spoken over, and I wasn't sure if what was going on with your volume.
And I mean, speaking of a competitive game, DBD,
Dead by Daylight.
if you want to be a toxic motherfucker and
Oh, this is the
shit
Dragon
on,
Ball game we were
shit
gonna
on the
talk about.
opponents, you just, dude, DBD is a fun game, and y'all should play it if you haven't. And now's a great time. You log in and get 300,000 free blood points, which is a lot. Could level up your character a ton of
Sponsored by
times.
Dead by Daylight.
Yep.
Yeah, is there
Sponsored by
sponsor
Dead by
codes?
Daylight.
Make
and
sure
it's
to
like
turn on
when you're,
NordVPN before you play that game.
When
Yeah,
when
right.
you when you're feeling scared, when you're scared in the corner of that map, and you feel like nobody's got your back, NordVPN.
Fucking Christ.
Thanks, Linus.
Aiden, stop. We might get Express instead.
Ah,
The
shit.
other one.
I mean,
um,
there's also OpenVPN.
Speaking of the other one.
Other one.
we
It's
finally
time.
have it.
Ah, fuck.
Got
It's
him.
finally here. After literally a year of talking about how the Switch Pro would be announced any day now, To just add insult to injury, Nintendo comes out with here. The model we've actually been working on is not the Switch Pro. It's just the OLED screen that we totally leaked like 6 months ago. So they announced the Nintendo Switch OLED version. Only difference, as far as I know, is A, the new screen, which is OLED, no resolution changes,
Oh my
and
god.
B, I'm going to start with 1 or A, but point is B is Ethernet port. I don't know if this is on the, I'm pretty sure it's on the dock and not on the
Yeah, it's
Switch
on the
itself.
dock.
It is on the dock.
Gotcha.
Also, the screen is 0.8 inches larger.
Ooh.
Impossible. Anyway,
So you know why? Probably so that the dock doesn't work with the old ones, so you have to get a new dock if you want to end this.
no, if it's just the
The
screen being
dimensions
larger,
of the
it
Switch
shouldn't
are
matter.
not changed. The screen's just bigger.
Okay,
Also,
maybe.
the dock like never really fit the Switch in the first place. They always
True.
wanted like the little top bar to peek out so you could see if it
No,
was
that's.
charging or not.
I mean, that's part's fine. I just meant like, I'm surprised Nintendo would like. Can you use an old Switch with the new dock?
I think the idea is they want everyone to start using the new docks because I know at least at like officially licensed Nintendo tournaments and especially the ones at their tree houses, they made sure everyone was using the LAN to USB adapter or Ethernet to USB adapter because like Wi-Fi on the Switch blows. So Nintendo's aware and they may just kind of want people to use this for online now. Either way, it's not the Switch Pro. There is no Switch Pro. Stop talking about the Switch Pro. It's not happening. Go enjoy your new nice screen on your Nintendo Switch. If you already have one, I don't think it's gonna be that big of an upgrade. No one needs true blacks to
Maybe
play
it's
Animal
time
Crossing.
for Tyler to finally get back in.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's what I've been waiting for this whole time, boys. The
Oh,
OLED.
wow.
Let's
You
go.
How was I supposed to play on this peasant LCD bullshit?
like
Finally,
this.
a true console. Like, fuck.
This is
Finally, the full
ridiculous.
DS.
Like,
Anyway.
what the fuck are you doing, Nintendo? It's been 5 years, dude. What do you-
All right, Nintendo is so afraid of what happened with the new 3DS, where they were like, "Oh, we'll push 1 or 2 games for it, and we'll see what everyone else does," and then no one did anything, and Nintendo's like, "Uh-oh," like, whoa.
I mean, like,
It's like, well, I guess this is our fault. So the problem is with the Switch, they either have to go all in and start releasing shit where it's like, this is, Switch Pro only. But they're at the point where it's
Look.
like, everyone has a Switch. Why would we separate our market like that?
4 years, Switch 2.
because I mean, like, at this point, honestly, the console has already run its life cycle. Like, everybody forgets that, like, 5 years was what a normal console life cycle was. Like, PS3 and Xbox 360 were a bizarre anomaly where we had those consoles for, like, 8, 9
Yeah.
years.
4 years, Switch 2. Calling
Like,
it.
dude, I would be so I'm already ready for a new Switch. Like,
So
I don't want Nintendo limiting themselves on old hardware.
So hold on. I'd argue that a Switch Pro doesn't really accomplish anything if we think Nintendo's going to come out with a new console anyway. Because unlike with Microsoft and Sony, where their last generation and the current generation are the same PC hardware architecture, it's not the
Sure.
same with the Switch. So you may not see when Switch 2 comes out. There might not be games that are launching for Switch and Switch 2 that are just easy
my
ports back and
God.
forth where a Pro would matter. If anything, this is more like a PS2 Slim, where a PS2 and a PS2 Slim played the same games, and maybe the PS2
Yeah.
Slim had faster load times, whatever the fuck it was. But point is, it was just different form factor. I don't know if the price is the same. I think the OLED one's like $50 more for the Switch. But point is, it's just a form change up. It doesn't really like no one is actually better than the other at anything, which
It
is
should
fine.
be.
If they're gonna launch a new console, I'd rather they don't bait us with a Pro anyway.
Well, I mean, like, I guess I was at least expecting like a half generation.
Any better power. Anything.
But here's the thing: the new 3DS did it, and then they just didn't do anything for the last 3 years of the
That's fucking
DS's life
Nintendo's
cycle.
fault.
I know, and Nintendo learned how to make a mistake, but they still haven't
No, they
learned
learned
how
how
to
to
do
make
it
money
successfully.
easier. They learned how to take the easy way to money.
Yes.
Look at how
Well, I mean,
this
yeah,
Switch
they've only
sells.
been re-releasing NES and SNES games for the last 20 years.
Fucking Nintendo.
Anyway, regardless of the Switch, I don't know if you guys saw videos of it, but Nintendo Land in Japan opened.
Okay.
I heard
It's
about it.
like I watched Joe the Anime Man got invited and did a walkthrough. The point is, it's like Disney level quality, but with Nintendo characters.
That sounds cool, I guess.
And it was super cool. If it was at the Universal Studios in the U.S., I would actually really want to go to Universal Studios. But unfortunately, I think it's Japan only.
Yeah.
It's okay, just like anime. In about 15 years, they'll finally realize that people like that shit over here too.
Anyway, the thing is, Nintendo would have to sponsor it, and we literally just got done talking about Nintendo and their business decisions.
What do they do with all their money?
They reinvest.
They keep it in the Japanese domestic market.
They literally forge Mario-sized coins and store them inside brick boxes at their castle.
I just legit don't get it. Like, not for nothing. Okay, Sony and Microsoft, obviously they're not sustained by just their just their gaming businesses. They have, like, Microsoft's obviously got Windows and everything. Sony's got movies and all this TV shows and all this other shit. But, like, what does Nintendo do with all their money?
Nintendo, what do you even do?
Like, I don't
just
get it.
Plant.
Lets them have these long-ass development cycles for their games.
So, but, like, okay, going into the next story, because I reshuffled things around because this is literally related. Pokemon Go. Aiden, why don't you reiterate the number you gave us earlier?
$5 billion
In 5
With a
years.
in 5 years.
So, like, where does it all go? Like, what is it all doing?
It goes to the Pokemon
What
company.
Niantic does,
is
they
it all
reskin.
doing?
Develop Arceus.
All they do is they reskin
It
their
goes
games
to
and re-release them.
Arceus?
But, like,
They made
okay,
a Harry Potter Go like a year ago off the Pokemon Go money.
but, like, hold on. So, legitimately, Pokemon Company is, like, probably the most profitable entity on the planet because all they have to do is put out a arguably good Pokemon game every couple of years, and they earn more money.
Not every
than
couple years.
everyone else.
Every single year they have to put out a Pokemon game. That's the problem.
And it doesn't
But,
have
like,
it doesn't have to be good.
You could build.
It just has to release. Otherwise, they will get their asses kicked by the TV company. They'll get their asses kicked by the TCG
But
group.
Freeman,
Everything
what I'm-
has to go on a schedule.
that's great. But what I'm saying is, like, okay, so the Call of Duty model, there are 3 studios at any given time working on Call of Duty games, plural. Why don't they just? You could build 3 Pokemon companies with how much money they
Ooh.
make.
So that's a big thing. Game Freak has not wanted to expand its staff ever since they did Ruby and Sapphire.
Well, too bad they're garbage.
Like,
Because it worked so
okay,
far.
So Freeman, then
It hasn't,
where
though.
is all the money going? They're earning record-breaking money all the time. If you don't increase your staff and you barely increase your technology, where does all the money go?
For the anime, it all goes to the one parent company, the Pokemon company, who runs everything, including the anime, including the card games. All
But I'm
that money from the
saying-
games goes into this shared pool that makes more Pokemon stuff.
I get that, and I'm saying, what new things are there? Like, there's no new thing that is like, look at how radically new or radically big investment we've done.
It doesn't need to be new. It's just the cost of doing business continually
But-
gets bigger. The more areas they expand to, the more regions in the world they start
That's
printing
why we're
Pokemon
saying,
cards
why
in.
isn't there more?
Yes.
Because
Why is number Pokemon is a global franchise.
Yes.
Everyone in the world knows what a Pikachu is.
Yes,
Right.
and that's why I'm
that's why we're
saying,
saying just
if you're-
fucking
I'm saying they
expand.
use their money to get to this point.
But they
great,
could have
but-
gotten to that point forever ago. Is what I'm saying.
No,
Well, I
I'm
mean,
not even
they've
saying
been
they
at this
could've.
point for forever.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, you act like that's a new thing. Everyone in the world knew what a Pikachu was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
There's a reason Pokemon Go earned $5 billion in 5 years. It didn't launch and everyone went, ooh, everyone.
No,
everyone
it's
was
about
like,
maintaining constant relevance.
But
Which they can
maintaining
do.
doesn't take
You know, that
more
costs money.
Yeah,
It
but-
does.
It
Freeman,
does cost
Yeah,
money.
but
They-
I
I'm
mean-
not saying it doesn't cost money. I'm saying
I'm
when
telling you,
you're-
this franchise has the biggest relevance of any video game franchise. I want you to imagine the
I-
upkeep cost to keep it this big for 25 years. That's
that's
where the
like-
money's going.
But Freeman, that's like saying Wizards hasn't done new things with all the new Magic money they're earning. Like, if Pokemon is earning more and more all the time,
Wizards isn't. They're just putting more money at the same tools they've used as the audience grows. As
But
there's
if
more people playing Arena, they spend more money on Arena to keep the same people doing the same thing, but they have more people doing that thing they put the money into.
It
So they
just
put more
doesn't
money
seem
in to
like
get
it.
more people doing the same thing they already put the money into. Just because they're not redoing the Magic engine doesn't mean they aren't putting half of their revenue every quarter into Arena to get more people playing it, even though they haven't changed it at all.
It just feels like that's not. It feels like there's more to it. That there should be more to it than that. There should be more happening.
There's not.
Like billion.
We're talking
Billion,
we're
5
talking billions.
billion.
That's $1 billion a year.
I feel like
For
okay.
a
Yeah,
mobile
that's
game,
a lot of money.
I like. Is it not unreasonable
really
to say that
doesn't
you could
need
probably
that
pay
much.
for marketing Pokemon worldwide off $1 billion in a year? And that means everything else that like the games and everything earned was pure profit or just covered employees or something.
I mean, the entire anime is their marketing. They're paying for a show that has not stopped airing since it started.
Yeah, and One Piece has done it like that's not like it's not
One Piece. What One Piece does is very different from what Pokemon's doing.
what are
One
they
Piece
doing?
is like One Piece has become a shadow of an anime. Pokemon has reinvented its series. It's now on its 4th reinvention, where they've redone the studio, and now it's like ever since X and Y, Pokemon has actually been an impressive franchise. One Piece, last 100 episodes haven't been so hot. They like stretch a chapter into 3 to 4 weeks.
Look, all I'm saying is I feel like with the most profitable franchise on the planet, it
You should be
feels like
doing
you
more
shouldn't
than
be
maintaining
putting
the
out-
status quo.
you should be able to open 5 video game studios that rotate every 5 years and to spend like how can Assassin's Creed do it?
I mean,
not Pokemon?
they finally started outsourcing. They finally felt comfortable with the company that made the Pokemon fighting game to say like, hey, you can do Snap now. They're finally starting to get more studios involved and increase their cadence.
It just
But this is a very
but
new
this is-
development.
I know, and this is what I mean. It feels like this should have happened 10 years ago.
Oh, I mean, it's because Game Freak's a 30% market shareholder and they want to do things their way. 100% what it is, and they're getting so much criticism now they have to back off, and they're letting Namco Bandai help them.
It's such bullshit.
True.
You know,
It's just the way it is. Anyway, real quick, to answer everyone's burning mystery question, before we started the podcast, I baited Aiden to put Pokemon Go in the show notes so I can explain to him why Pokemon Go makes so much money.
Yeah,
And it's
why
the
do they make
worst
money?
fucking reason I ever heard. So as someone who still plays Pokemon Go a lot, I don't raid, I don't really give a shit. I just catch Pokemon when I'm at the gym. But when it comes to having the best Pokemon, do you guys know what IVs are in Pokemon?
ugh.
Yes.
It's
But,
not Pokemon
It
Go.
is
Like
a
a
vehicle.
Oh,
Pokemon
yeah,
yes,
Go.
play
I
the
know.
game. Jeez.
So, to make every Pokemon different, starting with Gen 3, each of their stats, there's a hidden value, 0 through 26, that determines their IV, their innate hidden score in that stat. So, for the best and most competitive Pokemon, they need to have perfect IVs. So, in the core games, you would breed them. There were tricks to getting a 5 to 6 IV Pokemon. When it comes to Pokemon Go, the trick is you just got to keep catching until you find a good one. Or, if you hatch an egg will always have at least one of its stats, because in Pokemon Go, there's only 3 stats you have to worry about at its highest. So eggs, generally speaking, will have like 2 very good ones. A lot of time it'll be 3. So eggs generally create better competitive Pokemon. In addition, there are some Pokemon that are only found in eggs. So you need to not only hatch these rare egg Pokemon, but then also hope that they have good IVs. And this all boils down to the fact that you can only hatch eggs by physically walking.
This is
And you can only
already
hatch
awful.
1 egg at a time, or you can buy egg hatchers from the shop. And with competitive Pokemon players, like buying the hatchers has become the game. You take over as many gyms as possible to earn coins because you want to buy more egg hatchers to hatch eggs that can potentially become the next big meta Pokemon with 3 perfect IVs. And that is where their money secretly is. It's not buying Pokeballs, it's none of this other bullshit. It's egg hatching for the competitive whales. That's where the money comes from. And it's so stupid.
Thanks, I hate it.
I knew you guys would all hate us. I want to make sure this was recorded so the rest of the internet could
Hey,
hear the grief.
All right. So anyway,
You know what? Pokemon just needs to die.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Hell
Temtem
yeah,
Temtem
brother.
is the
You know
better
what?
franchise, anyways.
Debatable.
Is that we haven't
I'll
checked
cut
in on
you.
that in a while. Is that still existing?
Temtem? Absolutely.
What do you mean
I'm not saying it's bad.
absolutely? No
I'm
one
just
but you
saying I
has
don't know if it's the
followed this
best.
since, Aiden.
My brother played it during launch week and he hasn't touched it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I play it from time to time. I'm still waiting for like the 1.0 release.
So
How close?
what I'm actually gonna play is someone told me about this mod for Pokemon Fire Red called Pokemon Radical Red, where they tried to incorporate other Pokemon and they try to incorporate mechanics that happen after Gen 3. So like Mega Evolution is in this mod for Fire Red.
What the fuck?
And all you need is a Game Boy Advance emulator to play it. So I'm trying to get this mod set up and
Oh,
get it over my
no.
phone so I can just try to play
Ooh, if you
Pokemon
figure that out,
Super
maybe
Omega
let me
Red.
know.
Yeah, like I'm curious about this. I want to see how good this mod is, but that's gonna cover the
I
Pokemon
finally
fix.
found my mobile game, Pokemon Red.
Pokemon Fire Red was under my nose the entire time.
Stupid.
Don't give Nintendo ideas.
Aiden, phones are scary.
Y'all got
Sure,
phones,
yeah,
don't
y'all
you?
got phones,
That's Blizzard. That's why I didn't make the joke.
but y'all got phones.
Y'all got phones.
Yeah, y'all
though.
got phones so you can do your your Switch online, right?
Jesus.
Hey man, I'm still not paying for that.
Nah, fuck Nintendo.
So
I can't even.
I'm just saying, if Nintendo released any of the old Pokemon games on iOS and Android, they'd make another $5 billion in a year.
Oh my god.
100%. 100%.
too bad they're too. See, it's how is Nintendo
Reprint
and
equity,
especially-
Disney Vault. They're really into that idea.
So
Forced scarcity.
So it's also
Sure.
Nintendo, but especially the Pokemon Company. For the company, see, Freeman, this is what I mean, though. Going back to the point before, they are so crazy profitable, and yet there is so much more easy money they could make with so little effort, and they choose the most effort for tons of money, and don't do the easy stuff that could make tons of money. Like, it's somehow like they're failing forward. It's
Like,
hilarious.
easy
I'm
money.
not re-releasing the games because they did for the 3DS, and in their eyes that was too recent. Then we need to wait.
No, but like, put it on anything that isn't
Yeah, I mean, but
trash and will last
Trash.
forever.
everybody
No, I'm kidding.
has a cell phone.
Yes.
Everybody has a cell phone.
Look,
If
but
you put out, look,
It's a bit of a loaded statement. Like,
no, I was
30%
kidding.
of the global population doesn't have a cell phone, but like, there's
Right.
still like 6 billion
Could
people.
you
with cell
imagine if
phones.
Nintendo released any kind of Game Boy emulator officially? It would become
Yeah.
the most downloaded app of all time, probably.
so unfortunately, this is probably not going to happen, and I don't agree with why it's not going to happen. But it's a very Japanese culture thing with
Yeah,
the
because there's
the handheld
Yes.
consoles and cell phones are distinctly different, and they should be kept separate. You even look at how Nintendo's handling mobile app development. Their idea so far is don't have the game studios muddy their shit with mobile apps. Get a mobile app developer and have them learn how to make our games. And that's been their approach so far. Like literally all the Pokemon games were outsourced. We have Pokemon Unite coming out in like a month and a half or whatever, completely outsourced. Game Freak hasn't touched a cell phone, and at this point, they just treat them as completely different things.
good for them. Hire one of those mobile studios and say, hey, why don't you
No, I'm
remake?
saying like internally, they don't see that.
No,
They don't
I-
see any
and I don't
value in
care.
it, whereas
They're
we
wrong.
do.
They're stupid.
I know they're wrong, but this is the Japanese way of thinking.
True. The Japanese know better.
I'm not here
They
to
know
endorse
better.
their decision. I'm just explaining why it is the way it is.
You're the messenger. Shoot him. Shoot him. Kill him.
Kill me.
Yeah, I just got in 500 rounds of 9mm. Let's go.
Hey, don't actually kill me.
Oh yeah.
I want these games on
Wait,
handheld
wait, you
as
got
much as you do.
500 rounds.
Yeah.
How many cents per round?
It was like 20, but I also bought it like literally last year,
Oh.
and it just got to me.
Oh.
But I digress. We're
continue
not
that,
talking
never
about guns
mind.
right now. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
So speaking of guns,
Not speaking of guns. Speaking of laser swords.
speaking of lasers, so there was a thing that came out Sunday night while we were all hanging out, 4th of July. This little thing called Star Wars Visions was announced. And Aiden, did you watch any of this? You were the only one who weren't there, obviously.
I am unaware of Star Wars Visions. This
Oh,
is completely new to me.
Interesting. So out of the blue, there's a trailer that comes out from Lucasfilm, and they're like, "Hey, So we hired 10 anime studios to make a single episode for an anthology series of Star Wars called Star Wars Visions. And some of the studios include Freeman. I thought.
So Studio Trigger and Science Saru. So Studio Trigger famous for like Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann. Science Saru, they
shit.
did crap, it was animated the three girls drawing anime. It was really creative. The point is, those two studios are each doing 2, and then the remaining 6 are split up among Production IG,
Oh,
one of the
really?
big guys out there, and then 4 more who I'm looking through to try to figure out what they've done. But it's Kamikaze Dogo is probably the biggest of these 4. Geno Studio. It's not Colorado, it's Colorado, and Kinema Citrus.
Dorito
I
sounds
don't
like a
know.
Dorito flavor.
Studio Not Colorado actually did Burn the Witch, the Bleach author's most recent anime adaptation.
Oh,
Geno Studio has done very little. They did Golden Kamui, which aired last year.
wasn't that supposed to be pretty good? I don't remember.
Yeah, everyone I know really liked it. And then you have Kamikaze Doga, who helped with the JoJo's.
Yeah, what a
Style were golden. They also did Batman Ninja.
oh,
Oh,
god!
that thing.
I
that
heard
didn't-
that was monstrosity.
Yeah, but
I mean, it didn't
I
look
don't
too
think
hot.
I mean, I think that's the art
Oh
style.
shit!
Though, but,
They did Pop Team Epic. If they can do Pop Team Epic, and that show required crazy creativity, they're gonna do something wild here. All right.
So yeah, so this got announced, and the only thing that sucks is the trailer was mostly people talking and pictures of artwork, not actual in motion or anything like that. So I'm kind of excited. Seems pretty cool, but also I remember what Halo Legends was like.
Oof.
Tyler, Aiden, did anybody?
I watched Halo Legends and it wasn't.
Tyler,
Maybe
sorry,
a long
you
while
got real
ago.
quiet. What'd you say?
It wasn't good.
That's what I was going for. Yeah, Halo Legends had like 2 good episodes, a bunch of meh ones, and then a bunch of pretty bad ones or not
I think
good.
the only one that I thought was even kind of cool was because it was, I think, from the story. There was a story. It was the chick who tested out the Mjolnir armor, the Mark 6 armor.
Oh, that's
She
pretty
did
cool.
that drop, and she was shooting the grunts from the sky with a sniper rifle. I was like, all right, this is pretty dope.
This is pretty good.
Then
But
there
yeah.
was the one with like the Sangeli, and like that
Ugh,
was dog
God.
shit. You know exactly which one I'm talking
Dude, there's
about.
just so much weird shit in Halo sometimes. Like, remember all those Karen Travis books, like Glasslands and all that shit? Like, oh my
yeah.
god, that's some hard sci-fi shit. And I'm just like, that's not Halo for me, dog.
Miss me with that shit.
No, I know some people love it, but it was just not for me. But yeah, the art styles look pretty cool, although some of them are pretty funny to see just straight up laser katana, like lightsaber katanas. Just they're right there. Look at them. But yeah, we don't know much yet. It's coming in September, I believe, is the date they gave. Not a date, just a month.
September 22nd.
Okay, we have a date. So yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about it then. I'm sure I'll watch it. It's coming to Disney Plus, so we don't have to go through other anime streaming services.
Will it be subbed though, or dub only? That's the question.
Isn't that what was the thing you said, Freeman? When we were there, you're like, is this written for English audiences, so it's going to be built to be in English, or is this going to
Yeah,
be
my question is whether it's one of those like Afro Samurai where there was no Japanese dub. It's just they're designing around English voice actors and they're going to subtitle it for everyone else.
Yeah,
Man, I miss
We don't
Afro
know.
Samurai.
Yeah, I'm trying to get
Tyler-
everybody to watch it.
Tyler and Freeman showed us one episode a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we
Give you a
should
taste
finish
of
it
the
because
style.
it's only
Samurai.
got like
Mwah.
a couple more episodes in it.
There's
really
Tyler.
short.
We have so many group things to watch. We still haven't watched more than 2 episodes of Snow White Notes as a group.
Fuck that show. We're watching Afro Samurai.
But Snow White Notes is such a.
I don't
banger.
care. I don't care
Oh no.
with their sitars and shit.
Sit.
Yeah, I'm being confident.
Oh shit! That reminds me. Slime also launched today. Gotta watch that. Gotta watch.
Yep. That's back.
Guess who's back? Back.
Are we segueing? Is this
No,
a
no, we're
segue?
not. We're not. We got to finish the news before we start
There's.
The-
Yeah,
that
that's right.
cursed section.
We
of
almost forgot
podcasts.
ourselves and went to another place, but instead, Aiden, Crowfall What's this?
Yes,
yeah.
Crowfall. It's a new MMO, the revitalized genre, which I will cover
Wait, hold on. It's out or it's
soon
coming
enough.
out?
It is out today.
Oh shit! I missed the launch night.
So MMOs have kind of been dead for a long while, right? Like, if you were playing an MMO in the last few years, like, you were playing WoW. There were a few that had come out. It was like, maybe you heard of Firefall or, some shitty games like Guild Wars 2.
Hey man.
No, Guild Wars 2
Shit.
is a fine game, but it's like, nothing was. There was really nothing big on the horizon to look forward to, but now for some reason, all of a sudden, a ton of new MMO games are all dropping around the same time. Like,
Honestly, I feel like a big part of it is 14. Not,
Okay,
because
bro.
Say that again?
not just because you're playing it, Aiden, but 14's resurgence ever since the re-release seems to have been nothing but great.
yeah, but
Yeah, but like it's still restricted by
when did
whatever
it
the size of like the
re-release, though?
MMO audience is.
No, I know,
I'm
but
curious. I want you to just think about like time spans, and when do you think Final Fantasy actually re-released?
3 years ago.
17 or something.
3 years ago? It was 2013.
Wait, that
When
was the
it
re-release,
what?
not the original launch?
Yes, that was the re-release of the original launch. Final Fantasy 14 is an 11-year-old MMO.
Dude, shut up.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
talk
it
to me.
is.
So
Podcast canceled.
there has become an influx of a lot of new MMOs. Like Amazon has their new MMO, A New World, coming out. You've
thought it got
got
canceled.
New world.
no,
Okay.
no.
I'm wrong game.
A New World, A New World is still coming out. They have Ashes of Creation is another MMO that's coming out. You've got Crowfall, which just dropped today, which is like a crafting based MMO with like it's very heavily focused on like group play and
All I'm gonna say about
apparently not
Crowfall,
very easy.
this gameplay better be good because this art style is questionable at best.
Ooh.
The art style
Ooh.
looks like Smite. It's like the Smite art style.
Smite. That's a game I haven't heard of in a fucking
Yep.
hot minute.
Is that game still
Yeah.
going?
Yeah, Smite's
Maybe.
still a thing.
I haven't played since the original launch when you could buy all the gods for $30. Wow, it's still there.
But yeah, I was actually mere moments before this very podcast started. I was asked to play Crowfall because like seems like people are kind of getting back into the MMO genre. And I'm cool with that. Like if people can, if people are down for like social interaction on the internet again, that's not Facebook and Twitter.
Pandemic.
Yo,
Dude,
true.
I want open chat on the nearest city.
Okay, so
That's real
Absolutely.
social
Yo,
media.
real
general chat. Whoo! You haven't lived.
real quick. So looking at Smite's Twitter. So you know how the Stranger Things is coming to Magic? Stranger Things is coming to Smite.
Oh,
my
God, are you
God.
serious?
One
Today
week
I
until
learned.
Smite crosses over with Stranger Things Battle Pass.
Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck the internet.
Too much.
This is so
I hate
stupid.
this.
I don't like this either.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Everybody disliked this.
You guys know it's not terrible.
Oh boy.
No, it's
Or
pretty
do you want to
terrible.
put in one more note before I transition right into the Weeb shit?
Oh.
I was gonna say weeb shit, but
No, I wasn't going to turn off another topic there, but we can just keep moving along if you guys want.
Yes, please.
no,
Alright.
it's fine. I'm gonna talk more about MMOs later. So
That's true. Aiden has
fine.
plenty to say.
Got
We
to
can all
keep the
see
closer
right
ready to go. Nah, keep it a surprise. Don't scroll down on the show notes. Let's just talk about the press is Isekai Quartet's getting a movie. That's right. The comedy crossover between the four six of the largest isekai franchises. And I was saying in addition to third season, we're honestly not sure if the third season's happening or if this movie's replacing it. All we know is the movie is hard confirmed. It is happening
next year, unfortunately.
Yeah. The one thing people noted is that while Naofumi and the Rising the Shield Hero cast is on the poster, no one from Cautious Hero is on there.
I thought just Naofumi was. I didn't see.
No, Raphtalia is like dead center in the back
Is she?
row.
I just missed her. Okay.
Yeah. Either way, I'm excited for this movie. I want to laugh.
Yes,
Funny anime
absolutely.
movies are very, very rare, so I'm excited to watch this one.
Having just randomly rewatched with this group the Konosuba movie for no reason on 4th of July, man. I am excited for a comedy series that is more timely than Konosuba.
We need another season of Konosuba. I swear to God. All anyone's talking about after this movie got announced is, what the fuck? Everyone but Konosuba has either had an anime in the last year or is going to have an anime in the next year.
See, I saw most of the comments were like, when's ReZero Season 3?
No. They gotta let that cool off for a little bit. It's gonna be a little while till we get a Season 3 there. But Konosuba, though. Shit's ripe for the picking.
Dude, I don't understand. It's been a while since the movie came out. Like, it's been over a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I told you guys on Sunday, but I'll tell the viewers. Because the author of Konosuba has a different franchise getting an anime, I don't think they want to overwhelm the intellectual property that is this one author. So they're only letting like one of their franchises at a time get a lot of attention. If you look at the author for SAO, he had the same thing. After SAO came out, they weren't sure about a season 2, so they launched his other franchise, Excel World.
And then they realized, don't bother, and then stick with SAO.
And then A1 Pictures is like, no, we'll definitely do season 2. Also, please, don't ever think we don't want to work on Sword Art, because we do. And that's been their relation with A1 Pictures for Sword Art. I just want more Konosuba. But that was a perfect transition.
I just want to know if we're gonna get. I'm gonna let your transition happen, but like I want to know if season 3 is still happening, because that was supposed to launch this fall.
Let's find out. What studio worked on Isekai Quartet? Because it's none of the studios that actually. It takes 30
seconds to animate these episodes from the.
I know, they're so fucking dirt cheap. They're using like the Rick and Morty engine for this.
Rick and Morty engine.
Yo, Rick and Morty is great.
This studio, prior to this, the only shows they've done on their own is Isekai Quartet and Isekai Quartet 2.
Freeman, by the way.
Up until now, they've done like they did one of the Overlord OVAs, and they've just done like
Pleiades. It's the same. It's the same art. Freeman, by the way, second highest comment on Reddit is Cautious Hero too cautious to be in the picture.
Oh yeah. Cautious Hero was the best. His cameo in season 2 was phenomenal. Anyway, speaking of Sword Art Online, we got our poster for Sword Art Online Progressive, Aria of the Starless Night, aka the first of many Sword Art Online Progressive movies that will come out. For those who don't know what Sword Art Online Progressive is, if any of you watched the first 12 episodes of Sword Art and said, hey, I really wish they elaborated on that arc, that was really cool. Well, you're in luck, because the author's like, hey, I should do that. And he wrote one book for each floor. And he was going through animating like 15 or something. But point is, they're animating the first book, which is, for anyone who remembers original Sword Art Online, the first floor, I think, was like the first 2 or 3 episodes. The movie's retelling it from Asuna's perspective, but they are changing details, like adding a new character. And this character wasn't even in the book. So now in order to really understand the Aincrad arc of Sword Art, you not only have to read/watch Sword Art, read Sword Art Online Progressive, but then watch the theatrical edition, which is different from the books, which is different from the TV version of the exact same story arc. All I can tell you is I'm very excited to watch this movie. Coming out October 3rd in Japan, we'll probably get a US release given how big Sword Art is. But Tyler, in you in particular, I'm curious what your opinion is on what's going on with Sword Art here.
I haven't looked into it that much.
But as someone who's watched the rest of the franchise, are you interested in retreading the first arc?
Man, I'm worried because I like the first arc a lot.
Don't ruin this for me, Sword Art. Don't you fucking do it.
That's what I'm talking about. Like
the thing that started it all.
I loved it. I loved almost every
I'm just gonna
second
say
of it.
the progressive
Or-
novels have been really well received.
You were telling me that. You were telling me that like they're like it was well received. So like, shit, I just might. I think I probably will. I'll probably give it a shot. Like if you say that it got some good reviews,
You know,
I'll probably check it out. Even though people said Gun Gale Online was the shit, I didn't like it.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say, for
I'll
some of us,
go ahead.
the first arc is the only arc.
Damn.
That's
Don't
it's
fuck
not
it up.
it's honestly, as someone who's watched all of it, that's not a bad take. Honestly,
I'm begging you, don't fuck it up, please. Leave me my good
Like
memories.
assume that Asuna is fine at the end and you're good.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
it's not about
That's
the ending. It's about how did they make it through all 80 floors of this nonsense? Because actual anime only shows like 6 of them.
Right. They only show like a very small portion of it.
Yeah, we also jump
okay.
ahead like pretty hard through Kirito's leap from I know how to play this game. Everyone calls me the beta cheater to literally no one can damage me in like 3 episodes.
I
So they
am
got a lot of
God.
room to cover.
As a literal expert of MMOs, I can tell you that that's totally normal behavior for an MMO.
Damn.
99.99% of the time, you're not in any threat of death. And nothing of value is happening. It's only the
Only when you walk
0.001%.
into the raid boss that shit matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, poster looks beautiful. A1 Pictures, the last time did a Sword Art movie, it looked phenomenal. I'm not going to talk about the plot of the movie because I didn't like it. But from an animation side, they know what they're doing. So I'm excited to see this movie. And I'm
This is not
disappointed I don't
exciting.
get. I'm disappointed I don't get to see the next thing on this list because you guys don't know the full context behind that. I linked the article for what the fuck happened. But everyone on this podcast is familiar with the show Kakegurui, the gambling addiction. This is way too sexual for poker anime. Well, the writer of Kakegurui started a parody isekai series where the main character gets brought into a world filled with a bunch of other, like, basically stand-ins for other isekai protagonists. There's a guy who's blatantly Kirito. There's a guy who's an overlord. There's one who looks like Rumiru. And point is, the main character who's now reincarnated wants to kill all of them. So he's now, like, killing off likenesses to other big isekai franchises. And it just came off as way too edgy and way too, like, this is too close to be a parody. You're going to kill Kirito in chapter 2. So it got canceled.
So if you click on the article, right at the front, there's a picture of a bunch of these characters. Yeah, that's Kirito standing in front of everybody.
Yeah, it's a little too,
Also, maybe it's not a surprise that the guy who's Kakegurui got way less good. Nah.
Still haven't watched season 2 yet.
Don't even bother.
I need to know.
No, you don't.
When people told me don't watch Tokyo Ghoul season 2, I didn't take their advice seriously, and I think
so
that
much good anime
while it was a
in the world
massive
right
mistake,
now.
I'm a better person for suffering through that. So gladly.
So much better anime in the world than just boring Kakegurui.
So I'm never actually going to watch Kakegurui season 2. I have a promise to watch with a particular group of people, and that group never gets together for anime anymore. So it's in this weird kind of indefinite hold where I don't particularly care, thanks to what you've said. So if it happens, it happens. But I haven't.
Definitely not worth it.
There's too much anime. I'm not going to pick that up willingly, man. There's even
You're
Netflix
not worth
alone.
it, Tim.
I'm sitting here waiting for Netflix's new shit. I don't have time to watch their old stuff.
Tyler, you didn't even watch it.
Yeah, I did. I watched season 2.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm kidding. It's not that great.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna watch season 3 for the shit of it, though.
Nah, I'm done. I'm tapping out. Unless you say it's great, I will. Nah, it's boring.
That's fine. It probably won't be, honestly.
Premise is.
But I'll tell you.
Premise is dry. Unless something spicy happens, they ran out of ideas.
Which nothing spicy ever happens. Like spicier stuff happens, like in the original Yu-Gi-Oh show. Huh?
There was some spice in the first season.
Barely. It's a lot of nothing burgers.
It was
like
more than enough. It was enough to get me interested in season 2, which season 2 didn't.
Right, because the concept, because they still hook you on the concept, right? But still nothing happens. Like, was it that one chick who literally like jills off with the gun? Like, I'm like, yo, is someone gonna die? And I
Nope.
should have known better, because no one died. Like that whole like weird like, oh, we're gonna toss this gun, whatever that game it was. And I was like, oh, well, this is wild. Also, like I figured the implications, right? Because it's like guns are illegal in Japan, so the fact that she has multiple of these things, right?
These big illegals.
Like, there's got to be something. Not like you're like you're not even gonna mention that. You're not gonna at least shoot yourself in the foot or anything. She plays Russian roulette in the bathroom stall. That was wild. But like, I don't know. You had all this other stuff too, where it's like, oh, we have these high stake things, but like, there's like no consequence, like no real like dire consequence. Like at least what's being advertised. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe not. I don't know. Hello?
I haven't seen season 2. I can't really compare.
Well, it's the same. It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. Like, do you care if I spoil like a thing of it? I won't say characters or anything.
Go for it. I'll forget it.
Someone gets like, they lose a bet, obviously, and they have to jump off this tower.
Oof.
But obviously,
so
this
dumb.
person lives, and Tim knows exactly what I'm talking about.
So stupid.
Like, it was such a big build up to this part. They made a huge deal out of it, and they're like, yo, you gotta jump.
See, worse for me is the betting in the theater.
Yeah, that's also pretty
that was
bad.
the stupidest. Oh my god.
That was pretty dumb too.
How do we
Well, yeah,
introduce
the show is
and ruin
filled
a
with
character
stuff
in
like
the
that.
same fight?
Quote fight.
Oh, it's so boring.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of nothing. It's a lot of
when the whole
build
show
up for nothing.
When the whole show is how can we one up each other in terms of how goofy 10D chess we're playing. Like,
you know who I
it's
think
not
does it better?
real.
Kaguya-sama Loves War.
Well, that's because
As
it's a
dumb as
comedy,
that
not
sounds.
just stupid.
It's also because they start toning it down in the second season, where it stops becoming this competition show and just starts becoming
Funny.
something else entirely.
Huh.
Speaking of something else entirely.
That's right. I'm going to rope everyone else into my stupid little scheme here. So, the new season of anime is upon us, and it's too much. There's just simply too much anime. I can't watch through all of it and recommend shit. I started delegating out shows to people in our friend group to watch, and now I'm doing the same thing with you, audience. Literally, any shows that are good this season, just please comment them down below. I want to know what to watch, as we also tell you what to watch. But, like I said, season started. We're starting to see the trickle of shows come out. A ton came out this weekend. I know Slime is out now. I might watch it after this. But by the next time we record, everything will premiere and we'll have a loose idea of what the big hitters this season will be. But until then, I want to know what everyone's hyped for. Get that community involvement going.
Hell yeah.
Let
But
us know.
I feel like every 2 weeks is a new season of anime.
it's every 12 weeks. But that's with our current
Shut the
recording
fuck
cadence.
up.
It's like every 6 episodes, I deliver this topic.
It just
So yeah, pretty frequently.
it's too overwhelming.
It's a lot.
Not if you don't play an MMO. Then you have lots of time to stay up to date on anime.
Oof. Oof.
It's a big sacrifice you're asking to make.
I'm not. Look, he doesn't have to. I'm just saying,
But I do though. It's
If the podcast
It's
ends
my
at a
curse.
reasonable time, maybe me and Val will get to watch the new Slime episode since the season started.
I guess I should probably just speedrun the final and most important part of the Weeb shit. The midway point of the 2021 Waifu Wars on Reddit Best Girl Competition A.
God.
oh shit! I forgot to
So-
vote.
So
Shit, I
at-
forgot to
for the last week, I've remembered to vote because it's too spicy right now.
The top 32.
The top 32. Group A finished theirs. Somewhat of an upset. On round 5, Group B, the left side today is literally everyone from Kaguya-sama,
Oh,
minus
no.
Kaguya because she won last year. This is the strangest bracket I've seen in a while, where I want to vote for everyone, all the underdogs on the right side of the screen.
Oh, there's only 4 in right now. Wow, on the left
Yeah.
side.
That's top 32. It's going
Freeman,
to start
who do you
getting
vote
really.
for, Ryuko or Chika? You're
So
gonna
this
vote for
one's tough.
Chika.
I think overall I like Chika, but Ryuko is a better overall character. I'm giving it to her. Miko
Whoa.
Ino,
True.
not she's not a real character. As much as I love her, she doesn't have
Freeman's been
the
saying
full
this whole
character
time.
depth that Mayuri Shino, the core character of Steins Gate, has. Between Ai Hayasaka, arguably a background character in Kaguya Season 1, turned semi-main in Season 2, but still a background to the main character, versus the main character of a silent voice.
Yeah.
You
Oof.
easy. And now
Oof.
here's where the last one. Tyler, I don't know if you're looking at the screen. The last one is Asuka from Evangelion versus Miku from Quintuplets.
Oh, you did tell me that matchup.
It's finally happening today, and I'm.
You gotta make
Freeman-
a decision.
Freeman-
Do I
man.
reject modernity and
No.
embrace tradition?
Yeah,
or
I
do I
was gonna
accept that
say
Miku is best girl?
Freeman has been so.
Asuka forever.
You know the
Freeman-
right decision.
I've
Freeman
literally
has
been
been
screaming to Tim about how
so-
mad
yes.
I am that like other girls from newer
Freeman's
shows are like
why do all
putting up
these
a
new
fight against
girls-
Asuka. I'm like, no, you gotta respect the classics. And then bam,
No.
Miku's like, I don't respect the classics. Will you still
Listen.
vote for me?
You know the right decision here.
I know it's Miku. I'm a piece
Yes,
of shit.
I was gonna say you
All right,
know
good.
the right
Lock it. I
decision.
locked in the
Sure.
vote. I knew.
Good.
Disagree.
Good.
If you take the age of the show out of the equation, let's be real here. Like Asuka's not a very nice girl.
No, she's not. She's
There's
not.
nothing
That's
wrong
what
with
I'm
that.
wondering.
There's
I was
nothing wrong with that.
Anyway,
No, there's
So
something wrong.
wait.
to
No, you don't know
recap-
Miku. You
Yo,
don't know
some,
Miku, Aiden.
some of us just want Dami mommies, dude.
I
oh my
get that.
god.
I get that. I get that. I get that. But man,
I don't think
What,
you
what
do.
have I
dude.
done?
okay, all right, maybe I don't. All right, listen, I would not take Asuna home to mom. But Miku though, 100%.
Yo,
So-
I
I
just
bring her
want
home to
Lady
mom.
Demetresk to step on me.
Oh my fucking god.
No, not this again. No.
Freeman, hold on. Unrelated. Well, not
No,
unrelated
not
at
this
all.
again.
In bracket A, we're down to the top 4, right?
Yes.
What are the chances Aqua doesn't win the whole AA bracket?
All right, let me evaluate A real
Seems
quick.
like
Aqua's
0.
versus. Oh my god, she's got the whole Bakemonogatari franchise backing this last pick. I feel like Aqua's gonna win. Aqua's numbers have just been. Actually, hold on. Aqua's numbers have been pretty reasonable, except for her first round. Honestly, like flip 2 coins. It could happen. Aqua
Well,
could get the throne here. A
okay,
lot of people
she-
just don't like that she's the front runner.
Who's she gonna? Do you think she's gonna beat who she's up against?
That's what I'm saying. It's a double coin flip. I'm not sure how much of the Bakemonogatari franchise fans are just going to like dump their votes on her because she's the last
Dude,
one left.
Aqua 1 has. Well, I don't know what the. She has over 300 more votes in a similar matchup against a better character in the last round.
It boils down to the haters versus the lovers. I'm pretty sure Aqua will make it through.
Oh shit! It was a Konosuba showdown. That's
And
funny.
I really don't think either of the other people on the side of bracket A are going to really put up a good fight against Aqua. Maybe Yui. Not really. Anyway,
I'm just looking ahead to
where
bracket
the
C
fuck
now.
is Megumin?
Oh, another. Wow, Emilia versus Darkness. Freeman, who's gonna win?
That one's rough. That one's really rough.
Definitely gonna be Emilia.
Oh my god. Tyler, in 2 days, it's Megumin versus Nino from Quintuplets.
Oh my god.
Yo, you ready to cast Explosion?
Yo, fuck,
Jesus.
fuck Nino. I like Nino. All right, I still.
I like her
Alright, you
more,
know
but
what?
she still has problems.
I'm gonna say this, okay, and I don't like that I'm
I
saying
don't like
this,
it.
but Nino is Vegeta, and I hate it. I hate it. Like, I don't want to say this, but she's Vegeta.
You
Like,
have
she
finally
literally-
realized.
Yo,
She did some
Vegeta's the best
shit,
character.
and like that, I don't want to say that. She's
Bro,
not my best
Vegeta-
girl in the
tell me
show.
Vegeta's
Still,
not the best character from Dragon Ball.
he is. He is. No, I'm.
Thank you.
No.
I'm
It's not that
saying
Vegeta's
it
the
is.
best. That Goku's the worst.
It's Goku
True.
shit tier. It's Goku.
Excellent.
Goku.
There's no one else to fill in these massive protagonist shoes.
But like, man, she starts out like literally, she is like a villain. Like she
So she's
blows up
Vegeta.
planets.
Yes.
She blows up planets and she doesn't give a shit. And then later on, she's like, "Yo, I am the hero." And then turns out one of the biggest fucking heroes turns out that literally lived long enough to see themselves turn into a villain.
It was like watching pro wrestling, but with quintuplet waifus.
Dude, Holy shit! Like actually, like I literally shat myself
It's Ichiko with the steel chair.
with the steel shit, dude. And like the way they set it up too is like they're like, okay, well we can't just have her fuck up any of the other quintuplets. It has to be the nicest
She's got to mess with the cinnamon
quintuplet.
roll.
You
Anyway,
gotta-
we've gotten off topic and gotten back to talking about quintuplets. But anyway, by the time we come back next time, the waifu wars will be long over, so we'll know who
So-
Best Girl 8 is
so-
next time we
so-
record the podcast.
So Friedman,
Yeah.
Yes.
that's why I'm asking. As of right now, who what are your picks for each of the 4 brackets and who's gonna win?
Megumin's going to win the whole thing. For brackets,
Like,
Megumin is
actually.
actually no, Megumin's going to
Give a
lose.
real answer.
So
Give a
what's
real
going to
answer.
happen is Megumin will destroy Nino. Between Violet, Evergarden, and Ram. If Violet wins, I think Violet can beat Megumin. If Ram wins,
No
I think
way.
Megumin will win. So either Violet or Megumin versus in the other bracket. My Soccer Demon versus Kyoko Hori. Mai is going to win. Mai is rivaling Aqua in votes for the most part. Mai may actually win the whole thing. Mai will beat Hori, and then between Beatrice and Cece, it's a toss-up. Probably Cece, she's got the OG creds. But then she's going to get murdered by Mai, who will in turn murder whoever wins between Megumin and Ram/Violet. So, as much as I love Megumin, Mai is going to win bracket D, or Group D. In Group A, most likely Aqua. It's going to be really hard for her to lose. If it's not Aqua, it's Yui. Yui's going to make it through.
So hold on, Freeman. So I want to write this down in the show notes.
Sure.
So
Mai will win bracket D.
Group A. What the hell happened to
Listeners, you get to trace in real time how bad my top 32 bracket
Group
does.
B, Group C, Group D, winner. Okay. So
All right.
so we're looking for top of each bracket and then the winner.
All right, I think Mai's going to win Group D. I think Aqua's going to win Group A, but Yui's going to be close second if she doesn't overtake. All right,
Fine.
so
Give a. Okay, fine. We'll open it up a little to make it easier on you. Give a winner and a runner up.
Fuck. It's. Oh my god. Group C is a toss up. So Chica's going to win. She's going to beat Montoya. She's going to make the left side. She's going to kill either Miko Ino or Mayuri. That's just how it's going to be. So the question is, who's she up against on the other side? It's honestly a toss up. I want to say it's versus Miku. And while I want Miku to win, I'm pretty sure Chica's going to win Group B. And then Group C, I don't think Amelia is going to beat Darkness. Between Kaide and Iroha, it's literally flip a coin. Whoever wins between Darkness and Amelia will go to the finals of Group C. But on the other side, oh fuck, Hollow's up. Hollow versus Hollow's going to win that side. And then it's Saber versus Historia. So it's going to be Saber versus Hollow on the right side of the map. This is rough. This is hard.
Damn.
I honestly don't know. I'm going to give it to Saber, even though I think it's kind of unlikely. It's probably just going to end up being Darkness. Unless, hold on. Yeah, dude, Darkness is actually beating Amelia's numbers. It's going to be Darkness versus Hollow or Saber, and I think Darkness. I don't want to say Darkness is going to win. I'm going to give it to Hollow. Hollow will win. This one. And then I think Mai will just take the whole thing. I think there's just so many people who hate Aqua for just being an asshole, whereas Mai is like actually a legitimately good girl. And you look at their vote counts, and Mai's consistently rivaling, if not beating Aqua. I think Mai's going to win the whole thing. Locked in. Final answer.
Mike died in there. There we go. Now it's recording again. My mic died in there. Woohoo.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I don't know how long. Probably not that long. So Group A, you have Aqua. Who's gonna be runner up?
Fuck me.
There's only 3
runner
choices.
up Yui.
Okay, Yui. Group B of Chica, followed by Miku. Group C is Hollow, followed by Darkness. Group D is Mai, followed by who?
Between Nino, Megumin, Violet Evergarden, and Ram.
I'm just gonna give it to Megumin.
It's gonna be Megumin or Violet. I think one of those two is gonna win it.
I'm gonna write Megumin, and then I'm gonna put Go Violet, Heart Tim in the show notes. And then you think Mai's gonna win the whole thing?
I think so.
Okay, there you go, folks. We have recorded Freeman's estimates, and we are ready for 2 weeks from now to determine if he is correct about any of this or not.
Good. And with that disaster, that was it for the Weeb shit.
Jesus.
Yes.
So now, staying on that topic, Freeman, why don't you talk about shows while I run to the bathroom real quick?
Go ahead. I'll start with the one non-Weeb shit first. So my coworker's been pestering me to finish watching Invincible because I saw like the first 2 episodes and then just took a long pause on it. So I marathoned the last half of the show yesterday. And while overall I liked it, I think Invincible had a lot of big problems. The writing was super duper hokey, and I couldn't shake that feeling that just everyone was acting like very disingenuous in the entire show. But the action was really cool. The character drama of knowing who the villain is the entire time and watching it play out around them was super cool. I'm excited for season 2. I saw they made a lot of changes from the original graphic novels, but again, I don't read the graphic novels. I don't really care how different they are, just that it's good. If they can keep up the good animation, it'll at least be worth watching. We'll see about the plot. Overall, give it a shot is my take on that one.
Yeah, I fucking loved it.
The show or the graphic
The
novel?
show. I've been meaning to read the graphic novel's literally been on my like plan to read at some point in my life for about like 4 or 5 years now.
Gotcha.
Because I don't know, I've definitely mentioned this before on the podcast, but the writer of Walking Dead, what's his name?
Robert Kirkman, is that him?
Yeah, Robert Kirkman also wrote Invincible.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just for like reference. So, and like at the time, right, I was really into Walking Dead, and I was like, oh, like, and like I heard a lot of good things about Invincible, so I was like, all right, well, I like Walking Dead, I'll give Invincible a shot. And I just never got around to reading Invincible because there were so many issues out. Like, for
There's
context,
too
like
much to get caught up.
it was a lot. Like it's like how many issues was Invincible? Let's see. Issues. How many did it end at? It ended at 144. That's a lot. So you
That is.
figure like an issue comes out every month. So you're looking at a span of like a couple of years there. Like more
Yeah,
than a
it's like
couple
just
of
shy
years.
of 3, yeah, if they do every
Yeah.
week. That is a
Oh,
lot.
not every week, once a month.
Oh, sorry, oh shit, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold up. It's like 11, 12 years.
Yeah, 12 years.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of
It's
years,
exactly
dude.
12
Holy
years.
crap. Well, all right then.
So,
The fuck?
yeah.
Also, I can't get over the fact that all the memes that spawn from the show take place in the last episode.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, because like what is another thing? Like I went through a phase where I was just like destroying like stories like
Through 'em.
left and right, and yeah, I don't know. I've been meaning to get to that though. Speaking of which, I need to go to my comic store. Fuck, I need to get my box.
Box.
My box.
I'm back, by the way.
All right, cool. We just finished talking about Invincible.
Nice.
Rapid fire through the rest of the anime, because I don't know how much you guys actually give a shit about any of these. I finished watching Skate, or Skate the Infinity, I think is its real title.
Yeah.
Overall, show had a cool aesthetic. I'm gonna warn anyone who goes into this, like the show is not, it's not hiding. It's trying to be gay without being gay. Like they really bait these male characters together for you, to the point where it was kind of obnoxious in the finale. But overall, like the skateboarding for the first 4 episodes is pretty cool. Nice little bromance going on. A little too sexual at the end. Overall, solid animation. If you like skateboarding and you like boys who might be a little handsy, Skate the Infinity is for you. Otherwise, probably you can skip it.
If you're into that yaoi.
Yeah, right, for real. Finally watched the last episode of Horimiya. I was holding this one off because the last 4 episodes before this just like nothing was happening, and then they decided to do a high school graduation episode, but it was completely unearned. Like if you read the manga, it went on for forever, and then they had like the closing chapter where they graduate high school, and it's like they're gonna drift apart. With the anime, we only had 12 episodes, and they jumped like 6 months at a time. So it almost felt like we didn't really have that much time to get to know this friend group before there was supposed to be this heartbreaking tearing apart of the friend group. So in my mind, the ending didn't really stick as an anime-only watcher, but it is what it is. Cloverworks had a bad season. But speaking of Clovers, I finished watching Black Clover, which finished its nearly 200 episode run. And I'm pissed. They ended it at one of the high points of the series so far. So I'm like really I don't get it. Like they just finished filler. They just start a really hype arc and they're like, nope, anime's over. We're doing a
Damn.
movie next year. It's like, come on. Like I put all this time into the show. It's finally getting good, and you're like, nah, we out. We want money. Movie time. We'll talk later. Anyway, so that's where Black Clover is. If you had to ask me, was it worth the watch? Yes. If you get past the first like 15, main character stops screeching his lungs out and starts being a main character. And all the fights have really good animation.
Okay, I was gonna ask you because I made it about 80 episodes in, and
Wait,
I
you
wanted
made
to
it?
know if it was worth continuing.
It's
Jesus.
hold on, what arc did you get up to with episode 80?
Oh God, I don't know. They were in some weird like
Were they in like
oh, I might
Atlantis?
have. No, it was like one of those. What was that painter with the weird stairs? They're all like upside down and shit.
MC
MC
Escher?
Escher, that one. It was.
Yeah.
They were in a dungeon or some shit. That was like an MC Escher painting.
I don't remember. I thought that arc was a lot earlier. Anyway,
It might be. It might be a lot earlier.
anyway,
I
point is,
made it a decent way in though.
the payoff on Black Clover is pretty good.
Okay.
And then the last one on my list was please don't toy with me, Miss Nagatoro. The show about
Oh
bullying
God.
that like stopped being about real bullying after the first episode and started being about two characters who are very clearly in love with each other, teasing each other because neither wants to admit they're in love with each other. And it was adorable. The last 3 episodes, mega wholesome. The ending was one of like the best endings to a like rom-com anime I've seen in a while. Like I'm talking the post-credits scene gave you exactly what you wanted to see. So I left very satisfied. I love this show. I think it's great. I think it's got a really rough first episode, but if you can get past it, this is mega wholesome. Just not episode 1. But that's all I got. Someone else talk about the Chinese cartoons you watched this week.
Chinese cartoon.
My list is pretty tiny. One new show that's back, and 2 shows that I watched all of, or we finished, and one I watched by myself. Villainous is back. Oh my god! Watched the first episode twice. Villainous is exactly what it was a year ago, and it is so good. that Prince Giordo versus Keith content is still super choice.
I just hope they don't wear it out.
No, I hope too, but hey, Dio showed up at the end and you got pretty hyped about that.
Oh, hold on. So it's a quick story time. So listeners, you may not know this about me, but everyone who's ever watched anime does. I have a knack for identifying voices. Hence why I was flipping out about the voice cast of the show, Tyler. Actually, no. Were you talking about that before the podcast?
We were talking about it before the podcast.
Sorry. Tyler mentioned a show that was weird. I looked at the voice cast and I flipped out because I recognize everyone. Point is, Dio's voice actor. I forget what it is. I think Takahito Koyasu. He's got a very distinct voice. I've done it before where I predicted a character would be voiced by him just because of the way the character looked. But we're watching Villainous, and this character walks in, and all he says is hello. And I'm like, wait a minute, is that Dio? And immediately I start like fucking counting the keyboards, Googling this. And yes, from the one word he said, I was able to correctly guess this dude's voice actor. I peaked. It's all downhill from here. Anyway, sorry, I want to interject with that story.
Real good though. I'm excited to see where this season goes. Show was real good. First episode was really funny. That whole scene, Friedman, where Keith reveals that Katarina feeds him, and Mary just goes like full on Titan face. Oh, it's choice content. It's so funny. And thankfully, we still know that Katarina is the smoothest brain in anime.
Yes.
Say the smoothest operator.
Actually, the smoothest brain. Smooth brain.
There's a reason that council is her 5 brain cells all firing together because, oh my god.
Hold on. So the brain cell shit is even funnier after I watched the Spider anime, because the whole point of the Spider anime was picking up these upgrades, and one of the upgrades she got was parallel minds. So she had a council deciding her actions, but it was all very strategic shit and was like well thought out and panned out in the end. But then jumping back to Villainous and seeing like, wait a minute, this is the exact opposite. It's all 5 of them are giving awful advice.
But yeah, it's still really good. It's one of the few shows this season. This and Slime are the only two sequel shows that I'm really pumped for. And then To Your Eternity's continuing, and that's like it right now. And My Hero, obviously. Which Tyler will even say finally got good. Yay.
Too
Yeah.
bad I went on break this week.
Yeah, it was
fucking time.
Yeah, you know what else sucked, Friedman? Realizing yesterday that To Your Eternity also was on break this week, so we literally are going to be 2 weeks without both of those shows in the same.
Yes, I can catch up.
Well, fucking better. To Your Eternity ended at a real fucking cliffhanger.
Oh boy.
So this show is almost nothing. It was more like a prelude to what's launching this week. But Mini Dragon, the literally 2-minute shorts for the new season of Dragon Maid that were very cute and wholesome.
There was more opening and ending than there was anime in that show.
Mini Dragon. Nah, those were really cute and fun, and I can't wait for... I shouldn't have said that it's only those two sequels, because that's also a sequel launching this season that I'm really, really excited to watch. Because Dragon Maid was super gorgeous and super fun, and I can't wait to see more of it again. And then the only show that I finished was... So last week, of course, right before the holiday, I was actually sick. I took a day off work and then worked from home another day, which I've never done at this job before. But while I was in bed dying on Thursday last week, I watched 11 out of 13 episodes of Godzilla Singular Point on Netflix. And then I finished it on Friday. If you go back in time and listen to what I said about the Godzilla anime movies, where I said this is hard sci-fi and it's not for me, and times it by 5, because this show is literally technobabble, other light coming from other dimensions, time being an element, elements that weren't built on Earth, like sending messages to ourselves in the past. It's just fucking weird. Characters talk about shit like and it's one of those shows where people love to recite poetry to show how big brain they are. Like, people love to quote Book of Revelations or Shakespeare and all this other shit and be like, is that what you were referencing? And it's like, oh, jeez, shut up. It looked cool, and I will say Godzilla was cool, but, like, he doesn't matter at all. Like, at least the anime movies were like, Godzilla is the thing. Godzilla is the guy who represents the death of the thing that kicked humanity off Earth. This show is like, Godzilla's just kind of the biggest monster. Like, he just is there, and it just so happens that it's Godzilla. But it's also one of those movies. So, Tyler, did you see Godzilla? What is the last Japanese live-action Godzilla? Shin Godzilla.
Okay.
Did you see Shin Godzilla or no?
I didn't. I heard mixed reviews about it, so I was like,
I heard it was overall good, but I know I at least saw...
Shin Godzilla was fantastic. And
okay, well, there you go.
You would like it, Tyler.
So, in Shin Godzilla, I do know from trailers and stuff that Godzilla starts out not as a big lizard. Right, Aiden?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So, in this show, they also do the same thing, except it's literally, if they didn't blast the Godzilla theme over the fucking radio... or over the speakers. If that didn't play when this creature was on screen, you'd be like, is that supposed to be Godzilla? Until, like, literally the creature shows up
he makes
in, like
2 appearances before he looks like Godzilla, right?
Actually, yes. How do you know that?
Because I've seen clips of it.
Okay, yeah. Well, those clips aren't wrong. He literally shows up twice, and then there's a scene that happens, and it's Godzilla's here. It's actually kind of lame, too, because they make his attack look like it's not just going to be the laser beam, and then they just go, psych, you thought, and it's the laser beam after that. Which is both cool to see, and it's... so, one of the few cool things about this show is that, unlike in a lot of shows, you know how the beam just kind of, like, hits stuff? And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I did it. I shot the beam and it touched the thing. In this, it's like, oh, there's multiple shots where you just see Godzilla cut through like half of Tokyo. And you just see the beam come out the other side, no problem. And it's like, that's what I'm here for. I don't know, if you're into hard sci-fi and you don't mind Godzilla, it's not a terrible anime about that stuff, I guess. But for me, it's like, I'm not here. Maybe I'm just too smooth brain, like I said before, but like, I don't know. I'm not into super hard sci-fi anymore, and it's just not. There's so much. Also, the end of so there's a teaser for a second season. Literally seems to me to actively go against the entire premise of the show. No joke. Seems to literally turn its back on everything that the show was before that point.
Oh, really?
I would spoil it, but
Yeah.
do you
Don't
guys
do it.
do you guys want me to spoil it?
No, I don't want to
Nah.
know.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, that was frustrating. I don't know. Give it a watch though if you like hard sci-fi. It's not a Godzilla. It's not about Godzilla. It's about hard sci-fi. It's about human characters.
But another show happening in a Godzilla universe.
Also, whoever made this fucking loves Jet Jaguar. Like, literally, they grew up with the Jet Jaguar song, like, and watching commercials on TV about Jet Jaguar. Because holy shit, is Jet Jaguar in this show a lot. But yeah, Aiden, go ahead. Talk about your one thing that isn't anime.
So for realsies this time, am definitely done playing World of Warcraft.
Forever
For
or just for
real.
right now?
The 100,
That joke was
100%
hilarious.
true facts. Totally done with WoW. I swear.
But for how long?
So, I don't know, maybe until the next expansion.
There it is.
But like, 9.1, don't give a fuck. You want to know what's hot right now? Final Fantasy 14. Final
New
Fantasy
hotness.
14 is hot right now.
Old new hotness.
Remember
I was gonna
that
say,
scene
new
from
hotness
Derek
from
Zoolander
2013?
when fucking Mugatu is like, ah fuck, X thing is so hot right now. That's Final Fantasy 14 right now.
Damn it.
Mugatu approved. So I just recently hit max level and finished the arduous main story quest in Final Fantasy 14. And
Yeah.
this game is not an MMORPG. This is an RPG MMO.
Ooh.
I stole that from Jesse Cox.
Yep.
But it's the most true statement that you could really say about this game. Like, honestly, if the MMO portion of this wasn't here, the game would still be a good game. It is a Final Fantasy game.
Wow.
Except they've had because they exist in this MMO like kind of realm, they've had the liberty of like going into a lot of the Final Fantasy universes and pulling experiences from that.
Ooh.
Like, I can play Triple Triad in this. In fact, Triple Triad is spectacular in this game because the rules aren't full retard like Final Fantasy VIII.
Dude.
And like Triple Triad is an actual competitive game in Final Fantasy XIV. Like
I
I
feel
can
like you're talking about like Gwent in a Witcher here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, except I can play Triple Triad against other players. So like, I'm trying to be the Triple Triad champion.
You're trying to be the king of the Duelist Kingdom?
I am trying to be the king of the Duelist Kingdom. So also, I'm trying
game.
to play an Astrologian, which is the duel class. They play cards and empower their allies, and they look to the stars of ancient Egypt to smite their enemies. I digress. like this game has just been such an all-encompassing Final Fantasy experience. Like I can go to the Golden Saucer right now and play at the casino if I want. I can go chill at Seventh Heaven. Like they're obviously not the same things from the game, but like the references in here, just like man, they harken back to better times, and the game is just fantastically made. It's a MMO that actually respects your time as a player, which cannot be understated in today's day and age, where like if you're playing WoW and you want to experience everything the game has to offer, you're talking literally thousands upon thousands upon thousands of hours and probably paying money to boost characters to max level and buying gold and like probably paying for a boost through like the highest tier content in the game, where I have one character in Final Fantasy 14 and I can play literally every job in the game as this one character. Jobs are classes, for just FYI.
For context, yeah.
Yeah. So like I don't have to like waste my time running across the continent. If I've been somewhere, I can teleport there. If I want to like go do something, it's not a tremendous waste of my time to go try to do it. And it's been very refreshing, especially with having the very well-crafted story just to pull me along through this. It's been a great experience, and I highly recommend if anybody is interested in MMOs, like Final Fantasy 14 has been a spicy
Hell yeah.
meatball. Like what a long strange trip it has been, and I look forward to pouring many more thousands of hours into this game.
Nice.
I have just started the eternal journey to get my relic weapon leveled up. For those of you in the know, you know what that is. I'm not trying to explain it because it's already getting kind of late and I don't want to
If
keep
you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
you know, you know. Exactly. But it's like the best weapon in the game for your class. There you go. Yeah, WoW has just kind of been floundering for me in a really serious way lately. And I have been having a great time on Final Fantasy, and you should too.
Nice.
What a closer.
What a closer.
Real quick, Tyler, before you go. So maybe for the next podcast we'll have Demon Slayer news, because apparently there's an anime season 2 announcement coming next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then
Thank
also, Friedman, you didn't talk about Wonder Egg Priority ending.
So I didn't because
But-
I haven't watched it yet.
Well, Mother's Basement put out a video saying what happened to Wonder Egg Priority, and the title
I
card
know,
says
right? After
Trash Fire question mark.
Everyone in the fucking universe peddled this show to all of us easily impressionable weebs, only for us to all get universally disappointed by Cloverworks' triple fuck up 2 seasons ago.
Also, we should bring up how the other day when we were hanging out and both Odd Taxi videos for Gigguk and Mother's Basement came out within an hour of each other.
I can't take it. This anime media conspiracy to get me to watch select shows is working too well, and I don't like it.
Anyway, Tyler, go ahead.
What's it called? So I feel like I didn't do too much. But when did I decide to play this game?
I feel
Maybe
like you've been talking about
16,
this game for
7.
literally 8 years.
Yeah, well, I've been saying. Well, so I'm talking about Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Great game.
Great game. I have been saying that I was gonna play this game forever, way before I even met these guys.
Wow.
And one day I was like, it was like recently. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna start playing this game. So I did. And it took me a while because I've been playing it off and on to the point where I think it was like over the weekend. I'm like, I'm just gonna, because I had a bunch of free time. I was like, fine, I'll just finish it. And so I did. Now, those of you asking, those of you who know the game, I didn't beat it. I just like cleared through it. I didn't go and do the inverted
100%.
castle or or any of
It's
that
just an
other
any
shit.
percent.
Yeah, I just any percent. I'm like, all right, I cleared Alucard's part because like you can go to the inverted castle and like you can play as Richter and like all this other shit. So like, yeah. But it's fun though. It was obviously it's fun. It's a great game.
You recommend it?
Obviously recommended after what 22 years, 23 it's been out.
How do you feel about the soundtrack?
Every track is a fucking banger.
I thought you would.
Like I don't say this lightly. Every track is a banger.
Wow.
I say that with confidence. And like so like and I've seen this game like played at various stages throughout my entire life. But like playing it, actually sitting down playing it, like experiencing everything myself, I'm like, man, this game is fucking great. Like this game holds up, like 100%.
Wait,
Soundtrack's great.
which version were you playing?
I was playing the part that was ported to the PSP. So
Gotcha.
really the PlayStation 1 port, really. And I was really playing that on my Vita. I was playing it on the PSP inside of my PlayStation Vita. How's that? That is a
I'm
PlayStation
just
1
checking if there
port.
was done differently musically for that one. It doesn't seem like there was. Because I just wanted to look
Yeah,
at what
I don't
the
know.
composer's done. He's done basically
Yeah,
just like every Castlevania game.
yeah. Um,
Oh, and Skullgirls. Damn, that soundtrack was dope.
that game looked fun. I never got a chance to play it.
You don't like fighting
Um,
games, Tyler?
that's true. I go
Soundtrack.
against my
Yeah.
nature. That's an inside joke. Um, what was it? Oh yeah, I finished 86,
86.
I've got 2 episodes left.
aka Iron Blooded Orphans.
Part 2, no
Or
Gundams.
yeah, part
Do
two.
you
No
feel
gun.
like they should take it off the menu, or is it a hit?
It's a hit. I think it's a hit. I think there are some things I feel like, and this could be just me, but I feel like it could have benefited from a few more episodes. Like it was a 10 episode season
Mm-hmm.
So hold
or
on.
11.
They like a second core was announced when it was airing, so it was always
Yeah,
known it was going to be more.
but I kind of wish I got. I mean, even though I don't know.
Did it did it feel like when without spoiling? Because I'm probably going to watch the final episode tomorrow because I think my Wednesday group canceled. But point is, did they leave it off at a point where it feels like they're just going to they could pick up right from where they left off? Or do you feel like there's going to be a gap between the ending and whatever comes next?
I think there could be a gap.
Could be either.
Like that, it could be either, but I think it feels to me, Tim. I don't know about you. I think there could be more of a gap. Like it wouldn't be a long gap, but there would be one.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't be
I don't know.
surprised
I
if
feel
they
like
open and there's like 6 months have passed or some small thing like that.
yeah,
Maybe that would make sense.
like there's just some things like because there are just some time skips. It's not egregious actually. It's just like because at the end of or at the beginning or whatever, like in between episodes, they'll tell you the dates of stuff like of significant things that are happening in the show. So it's like it has a legitimate timeline that you can, like, oh hey, it's been a couple days, or this literally happened within 72 hours of each other, or like oh, they haven't done a thing in over like a few months, So like
Gotcha.
that stuff's cool, but I kind of wish it explored like because the world is interesting to me and so I'm hoping that we get a little bit more world development from them later on.
Mm-hmm.
Unless that's like, the point of the show is like, oh, it's not about this. It's
It's not
about
about
like
knowing everything. It's about just seeing the
it's about
perspectives of these characters.
right. And that's what I feel like it might be showing, but I kind of wish there was more. But that's just a me thing. But overall, I think it's pretty good. If you're the type of person to like Iron Blooded Orphans, like it's literally the same show, you'll like this.
Thankfully, you don't have to wait till October for the continuation.
Yeah, I will definitely be eagerly awaiting it. And I completely forgot until the last couple of episodes because I think you recommended that we listen to it with headphones on
I
because of the
started doing
sound
it, but
design.
unfortunately it was right after the episode where it mattered that they stopped doing it. But like there's so for listeners who want to know what I'm talking about, there are scenes where everyone is essentially talking over these essentially brain links. There's one part where this whisper sound effect comes into play in the episode where it matters. The sound editing between characters talking over the receiver, and then characters hearing these whispers was really cool to listen to with headphones. But they never did anything else with their audio after that episode.
Mm.
So I regret telling everyone to watch it with headphones after it only happened once.
Yeah, it's fine. It's still cool. The sound design was still cool anyway. I mean, everything going on. Um, I finished another book after taking forever to read this one. I read The Foundation. It was a part of the Foundation trilogy by Isaac Asimov. Um, it's literally about this guy, this fucking big brain scientist who studies a certain fictional science. What was it called? It was like social history. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm bad. And I'm bad at remembering things. But basically, he predicts like social things and he predicts like, yo, we're gonna blow ourselves up. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna do it within this many years. And he proposes that he takes like a group of scientists and goes and fucks off and he wants to like his premise for fucking off is like I want to develop an encyclopedia so that when we do uh you know blow ourselves up, we can Dr. Stone ourselves quicker into the future. It's actually I feel like Dr. Stone, I don't know if Dr. Stone even took any sort of like pull from this, but it makes a lot of sense. Like his whole thing is like we're gonna leave stuff behind. We're gonna have a thing where we're able to leave things behind. So instead of civilization to start back up in 30,000 years, they'll start back up in 1,000 years.
Hmm.
Reading the
And
plot synopsis on Wikipedia is fucking
Or
wild. Wild. The amount of detail they squeeze into a paragraph to attempt to summarize the series is insane.
it's a lot.
It
Um,
sounds like Warhammer, and I like it.
it's pretty cool actually. The first city that they describe, and the first part of the book is very short. Literally describes a city, where it's like, oh yeah, like you want to go to the surface. I mean, you could go to the surface, but like no one really goes there, bro. Like we haven't seen the sun in like really ever. It's no big deal, really. Um, but like it's stuff like that, and they're like going off on this like thing where it's like the human race has stretched itself so far out that like we start losing in touch with each other and like other planets. And even though like it's ruled by a governing body, literally the god emperors, they lose touch and they're starting to forget all the stuff that makes them, and they start warring with each other, and it turns into a whole thing. And like there's more to the book than just that, but it's a lot of talking. um and this book I think was written in the 50s.
1951.
How long
Yeah,
was it?
51, 1951.
No, no,
It's
no.
so
Like how many
wild.
pages was this book?
It's about like two. I mean, I'm reading it on the Kindle, and my reading speed, I think it took me like 7 hours.
Gotcha.
I think I've read the page count though was like 250 to 300.
There's a lot in this series.
Yeah, well, so apparently there's like a
Oh god,
main trilogy, and actually, so I
this
picked
is
up this book.
7 books, dude.
It is. So there's an original trilogy, and because the trilogy apparently popped off, um, Isaac Asimov, who is I guess also mention, he's the author of I, Robot, for you Will Smith fans out there. Um, he was like, yo, I want to write a bunch more books, and so he did. It's kind of like Dune. Like Dune pretty much did the same thing, where the dude's like, yo, I want to write this like book, and I'm gonna write these other books. Oh, this got popular. I'm gonna write more of them. And now there's like fucking 7 Dune books. So I'm gonna read the trilogy, see how I feel about. I'm gonna do it the same thing, the Dune treatment, because I got this recommendation from Tim's father-in-law actually, because he was gushing about it, and I was like, fine, I'll give it a try. Why not? So I started that. I started that. Oh, and I started Elantris by Brandon Sanderson, which is a spin-off. Well, it's his first novel, but it takes place in the same universe as the Stormlight Archives, the Way of Kings books.
So it's just like the world works the same, or is it actually like intertwined with the plot of the other books?
Um, it's the same, literally the same universe.
Gotcha.
Like somewhere out there, another planet exists in relatively, in heavy quotes, relatively the same time as the other books that also exist on other planets. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't even really know all of it. I know a very surface level stuff based off of what I had already read from the Stormlight Archives.
Yeah, I gotta
Um,
keep listening to that.
it's fun. Oh, and then as for things that are bad, because all 3 of those things were bangers. The Foundation was pretty good, but I watched the Forever Purge, and that was a bad movie.
Okay, so it's a bad movie, but how does it compare to the other Purge movies?
It's probably the best one.
Wow, dude.
Like, I could say that without like even like batting an eyelash. The production value was not as good as the first one, but because they underutilized the premise so poorly in the first one, like unfortunately the other ones just like are better, and it's like I'm not even really saying much because they're all not good. They're all not good. And you ask, say, Tyler, if they're garbage, why are you going to go see them? Well, you see, I don't have a good answer. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Wonderful.
I mean, something we like to revive dead movie franchises because we can.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Something.
why this got sequels is beyond me.
People like pretending to be able to murder. I don't know.
The premise is great, right? The premise
Everyone
is
loves the premise.
interesting.
The premise could go
What?
like it's literally free real estate, that fucking premise, and they're like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, no, they tried making it very it's almost like they tried throwing like a Hunger Games or like a teen novel, like teen sci-fi novel that we've been getting, right? And they try to jam it into like this like super trying to be hyper realistic political thing. And I feel like they're trying to reach the wrong audience with it. Um, I could totally reference Rampage, but I know none of you have seen that movie.
Is it anything like the video game?
It's not. It's not even based on fuck you. Not that Rampage. There's another movie called
Oh,
Rampage.
see, I was thinking the same thing as Friedman.
It's an Uwe Boll movie.
Ugh.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yeah.
No, I've seen this.
You've seen
Yeah,
it?
I've seen
Oh
Rampage.
shit.
Yes. Yeah. I've seen
Yo.
that.
Okay, yeah, I only know of one other person who's watched that movie. Well, now I
Well,
know 2
this
now.
Rampage got a lot of heat when it came out.
Oh, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. But like
Which is another movie that probably shouldn't have gotten a sequel, but it did.
it got 2. It got 2
Oh, no.
sequels.
Oh, God. But anyways, like,
It's along the
I feel
same
like,
vein, and you know what I'm talking about now.
yeah, the premise was much better executed in Rampage,
Yes.
I feel.
Yes. Actually, no, it wasn't. Falling Down was much better.
I
Have you
don't
seen
think I'm
Falling
familiar with that
Down?
one.
Yo, Michael Douglas, he plays as this fucking guy, and he literally just goes nuts. Like he's
Is
like, I
this
want to
Postal
go.
the movie?
It's it's funny you mention that because Uwe Boll directed a Postal movie.
The Adventures of an Ordinary Man at war with the everyday world.
Tuh.
But actually, though, he like
Except,
find
just murking motherfuckers.
yeah, no, literally that. He's just like he's a middle class dude who's like down on his luck, and he does a bunch like he just goes ape shit, and it has a message at the end. But at least from what I remember, it needs a rewatch. I need to rewatch it to like see how really well it like kind of stands up to like now. But
Mm-hmm.
like when I watched, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And then like I watched something like, like, um, a Rampage or um, a Purge, right? And it's just like, okay, we have some interesting concepts here, but you're not doing anything. You're really just trying to make a state. They're trying too hard to make a statement.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of throws me off as a viewer. Like if I feel like you're trying way too hard, like I'll give you an example. Like none of you are gonna watch this new Purge movie, are you?
No.
Nope.
Listeners, I highly discourage you from watching this movie unless you're like super into it. And even what I'm about to say isn't even really a spoiler. But basically, um, there's a couple of well, actually no, I guess I will turn it into a spoiler. So spoilers. So skip ahead or whatever. Um, to the next timestamp. But basically, it involves characters going into the United States, then being like, okay, well, the purge. So there's like a group of people that want to continue the purge after it's over. And for the uninitiated, the purge is a thing where like crime is allowed for like 12 hours. Anything is quote, you know, on the table, so to speak. And like after it's done, it's done. However, these group of people around the United States are like, fuck that, we're gonna keep it going because something something we got to kill the 1% something something, and this whole movie is all about like, oh, immigration is also a thing, and like, it's supposed to play on the whole like, oh, hey, immigrants are running to here because it's a better life, and it's like, oh, Americans are gonna run to Mexico for safety instead, and like they played up that whole thing. And when the heroes reach Mexico, they have like one of those like fake broadcast things, and they're like, what are we gonna do with these American dreamers is the next question. I was like, get the fuck out. I think I literally said, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, a little bit on the nose.
But like that was the whole movie. It was the whole movie. And I was like, damn, like y'all
Oh,
just couldn't
so
let it go. You couldn't let it go.
they
You couldn't.
it fell into the same vein as that new movie Karen.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what happened with that one.
There's a movie that came out called Karen, where
Oh,
like literally the whole premise of the movie is that there's just this psychotic white bitch that just doesn't like minorities.
Oh no.
And that kind of feels like the whole preachy on the nose kind of fucking political statement that this is trying to do.
yeah. Yeah. I really need to stop giving my money to fucking movies like this. I really do, because I thought about it, and I'm like, and I was like, yo, they make money off of this, and I'm like, you're the dumbass who keeps giving them money.
Yeah.
So maybe you should stop. And I'm like, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe this will probably be the last Purge movie I see. Granted, the last other two Purge movies I didn't see in theaters, I think. Yeah, I sailed the seven seas for them.
I mean, that's where we should get most of our movies from because
Real shit. Yo, I learned
streaming
Fast
services are
9.
getting real expensive.
Fast
If
9.
Purge is all about making crime legal, then by all means, you should pirate this movie.
Yes.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Fast 9 already doubled its fucking earnings. Not doubled its earnings, but like its budget. Its budget was
Bro,
like
I'm
200
so
million. It has made 500 million. I'm like, I can't stand this.
Man,
I
that
am
bot,
so done with the fucking memes.
dude, the box office performance is pretty strong,
Oh
but
my
nothing is stronger than awful memes.
Aiden, so Tyler just the other day was like, I hate memes. I hate this meme so much. So I happened to see on Reddit today, and I sent it to the guys' chat. It's literally a post where it's the "Was I a good meme?" You know, the death
Grim
meme,
Reaper, yeah.
and it's like, no, you were instantly terrible.
I mean,
But
yeah.
there's
Like, yeah.
so many. There's
Yeah,
so many.
There are, dude. Oh my god! Like, what is the strength of this password? Like, fucking a random string of numbers and letters is
No-
weak, but family is the strongest password. Like, I fucking can't, dude. Just please.
Please end
Please.
me. Please end it. Please end it. Like,
It has been a complete fucking torrent, and
Oh, you
because of
can't
course,
end
like
family.
fucking Fabio. Fabio's a big car guy, and probably, even though he doesn't want to admit it, is a massive faggot for Fast and Furious.
Oh
yes,
boy.
he
It's
is.
been non-stop fucking memes in the chat.
Non-stop. He at least. I should scroll through, but I don't have enough time. I want to wrap this up. But
Right? Like, it's just too many. It's literally
sent
too much
so
for one
many.
lifetime.
Yeah, it's
Like,
a lot.
I don't need any more family. I had enough of that shit.
I had enough.
But can
But
we
that's
talk
enough.
about real quick, like, how his
What?
brother has been living in his shadows, and all he did was run Panasonic?
I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to. I don't want to.
Dude, it's such a burning question in my mind, though.
Also, it's so. No. We're continuing.
Take the
I'm not
bait.
getting into this. I can't do
Hey,
it. No.
just take the
done?
bait.
Aren't we
No.
done?
No, we're done. We're done. I
Okay,
say we're
good.
done. Just
2 hours,
Tyler
we're
says we're
done.
done.
All right.
Thank you.
So Tyler has declared it over.
we're-
So
we're
Yes.
thanks for
we're
watching,
done.
everybody.
God, I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm.
Jesus.
That's all I know is a good episode.
So
Fuck.
thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back in 3 weeks. We actually have to take 2 weeks from now off, and obviously we never have enough news for 1 week, so we'll be back in 3 weeks. But yeah,
It's life.
that's
Life
just
life
how
happens.
things go. Life finds a way.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes it shouldn't.
But until then, whether or not it should or shouldn't, my name is Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Just Tyler.
Aiden, Summoner Extraordinaire.
Oh my god.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.